Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. In the last episode, we talked to Bryce, learned there's some funny business with the burial of Claire's husband. So let's see if we can get to the bottom of that.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Shoot, there's a lot there I want to ask about. Did you talk to the girl again?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
The girl caught a fish?
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
What was that?
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her.
It's not there in the tape. What is happening? Why was that not in the tape? Oh boy. Okay. Wait. How did you get into the lake house?
I don't know anything about that.
All right. Because I thought she said something in the last chapter about having, like, she didn't have her key, so she couldn't get in.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David.
Oh, David's probably letting her. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Okay, I guess the next thing is,
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
Thinking about it biting her wasn't until the next conversation. I don't know. Let's ask about the paper spike or the arrest, maybe the arrest report. Tell them about the arrest report. Or was that, what were the words? Yeah, arrest report. Okay.
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away.
I think the first word highlighted was neighbor. Yeah. The neighbor. I'm gonna spell this wrong. Neighbor reported you.
My neighbors seem far more interested in my business than they are their own. The lake house only has one house opposite, and it was on sale for some time. I suppose I should have bought it.
Oh wait, is there anything to go along with that? Nope. Okay. Shoot, we're gonna be going back and forth here. You were drenched in blood?
It's a messy business, stabbing someone.
Yeah.
You'd imagine that it would be like slicing into a pie with all the filling just slowly oozing out, but it's so much more dramatic, like popping a cork of a bottle of champagne. Blood sprayed everywhere.
Is there any follow-up to that? No. Okay. Why did you stab him with a strake knife.
I don't understand what you're getting at, Doctor.
You stabbed... you used a steak knife?
The steak knife was the closest, sharpest weapon I could lay my hands on. I didn't really have much time to think about it.
Go along with that. Oh, there is. Didn't have much time. Why? Why didn't you have much time to think about it?
I didn't plan to kill my husband. It was a spur of the moment thing.
Oh, okay then.
What is it with men and affairs? Is that why they have a shorter average lifespan?
Because they're stabbed for having affairs? I don't think so. Oop. Alright, sorry. Tried to adjust the microphone on the fly. It did not, this is not graceful. Okay. Tell me about the dead man.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Oh, there's a lot to follow up on. Was there anything else in the arrest report? Well, we'll kind of maybe... Husband and murder. Maybe we'll follow up on this lead first. Okay. Tell me about his funeral.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
Who was the pallbearer?
Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a grave digger, I believe.
He sure is. Bryce helped bury David?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult.
What?
Unless you pay the right people.
What? I should tell Bryce that Claire says he's been smuggling bodies. Yes! Claire says you smuggled bodies. Ah, there it is. There it is. That's how you would do it. Okay. Because remember in the last episode I had to go for a hint. And that's what it is. Okay. So that's how you'd figure that out. Got it. But Bryce also said Bryce said he buried David. Crap, what was it? Go back.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off.
Okay, so Bryce says... Bryce said David is in the ground.
Well, that's what he would say, isn't it?
Alright, tell me about the dead man.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused.
Yeah.
The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead.
David was fatally wounded?
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it.
Because of the blood?
So I fixed him.
What? You fixed him?
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
Holy crap. You had a chance at resurrection?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Are you an evil necromancer?
David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life, as you'd expect. He was scared. He didn't want me to go near him at first, which is understandable, as I did kill him. But I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but even monosyllabic words were more than what he seemed able to give me.
There's still more there.
David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life, as you'd expect. He was scared. He didn't want me to go near him at first, which is understandable, as I did kill him. But I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but even monosyllabic words were more than what he seemed able to give me.
Okay. But you did succeed at bringing... Alright, we'll come back to that.
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term.
What was wrong with the results?
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
What is the problem?
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
What do you want me to help you with?
I don't know what you're after, but I don't know anything about that.
Shoot, what was the exact phrasing she used?
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
Oh, you're being charged?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Oh, crap. A little bit. I don't know what to do. No, I don't think you're a killer.
Thank you, Doctor. So then you'll help me? You'll say I was temporarily insane?
You seem permanently insane. Yes, I will say you were temporarily insane.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Dekker. But Dr. Dekker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else.
Whoa, wait, what? What did Dr. Dekker want?
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my electability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
What happened to the girl?
I'm getting tired of all these questions. I'm getting tired of everything.
Dr. Dekker mentioned a girl? Maybe there's nothing there.
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house.
What?
Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem.
What?
So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted, a temporary insanity diagnosis.
Claire says the girl in Dekker's basement was Iris. Let's go back to Bryce. Was the girl's name Iris?
The girl who was chained in the basement. Her name is Iris. How do you know that? Not that it means anything. She wouldn't remember me anyway. Time was frozen.
Is there anything to follow up there? I feel like I got anything out of that. Time was frozen?
I don't know.
Alright, I feel like I need more.
The girl who was chained in the basement. Her name is Iris. How do you know that? Not that it means anything. She wouldn't remember me anyway.
Well, I know why. Why wouldn't she remember you?
In simple terms, I've got nothing to say.
Okay.
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris.
Tell me about Iris.
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
There's nothing to follow up. I want to say, Bryce set, Bryce released Iris from the basement.
What? She was actually his prisoner. Bryce saved Iris? So that's 2 favors I owe Bryce now. And Iris? I'd probably have stopped her death if I'd known it was real. I suppose I should have a chat with her now.
You'd probably stop her death?
There was something delicious about the idea of getting revenge on Iris by having Dr. Dekker kill her. But I'm not wicked.
cleared that up.
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my electability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually.
Oh, wait, okay, so, why did he change his mind?
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Oh, God. Yeah, sure, yes. I would love to see David.
Very well. In our next session.
Man, I feel like there's so many ways we could go. Why did he change his mind? Oh wait, what happened when Dekker met David? That sounds like a terrible movie.
I think it was a mistake taking Dr. Dekker to see David. Dr. Dekker wanted to examine him, so they went into a different room. I wasn't worried. David wouldn't speak. But Dr. Dekker seemed very distant after that. He didn't say a word on the way back.
Huh. Alright, let's see, what are our urgent ones that we still have? Nothing. Maybe we go back, we still have the paper spike, and we still have a few things in the report. I need to say husband. Tell me about your husband.
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that.
Did you murder David? Tell me about the dead man. Okay, so that's weird that there's repeats. I guess maybe we'll go right to this paper spike. What do you know about a paper spike?
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or
you've thought way too much about this.
Or perhaps through the ear and into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
No, I don't know.
Sorry. I don't know.
No, that's what I said. Do you want to keep going?
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear and into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
It was a bloody mess.
That's not relevant here.
Oh. Oh, okay. What else do we have? Nothing. Nothing. We've got nothing. Did you talk to the girl again?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
Okay. Do you know? Hold on. He was stabbed in the heart?
He was stabbed in the heart. Then I'd say whoever killed him didn't want to leave any room for error.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that did clear that up. All right. I want to know what goes along with this. Are you an evil necromancer?
David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life, as you'd expect. He was scared. He didn't want me to go near him at first, which is understandable, as I did kill him. But I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but even monosyllabic words were more than what he seemed able to give me.
Wait, okay. So you did kill David.
Try asking me something I might know.
You just said you killed him, though.
David was dazed and confused when I brought him back to life.
All right, I like dazed and confused.
He was scared. He
Oh,
didn't
why
want me
was
to go
David
near him at
scared?
first, which is understandable, as I did kill him.
Maybe because of that.
But I didn't really succeed in bringing him back. He wasn't a big talker before, but...
Wait. Why didn't you succeed in bringing him back?
He made sounds. I could understand him a bit. I thought he'd improve with time, like a child learning to talk, but he didn't. It's only recently that I've come to that conclusion that he's not going to get better. He's not going to be right again. I think it's his brain. At least he is safe where he is.
What's wrong with his brain? Is there any follow-up to that? Why didn't you succeed in bringing him back? Yeah, it did have follow-up. Hold, please.
He made sounds. I could understand him a bit. I thought he'd improve with time, like a child learning to talk, but he didn't. It's only recently that I've come to that conclusion that he's not going to get better. He's not going to be right again. I think it's his brain. At least he is safe where he is.
At least he's safe?
At the lake house. He doesn't move from there. For good reason.
Follow-up to that. Okay, what's the good reason?
David shouldn't be alive, so he can't just stroll around the neighborhood. It's unseemly. I did think he'd be able to rejoin society at some point, but not anymore. He's getting worse, not better.
Oh, God, there's follow-up to both of those. How is he getting worse?
I don't know, Doctor. At the lake house. He doesn't move from there. For good reason.
He doesn't move from there?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What I meant to say is that David never leaves the vicinity of the lake house. I think his hunting would be severely restricted by trying to do it from the kitchen window.
I should think so. Nothing to follow up on there.
David shouldn't be alive, so he can't just stroll around the neighborhood. It's unseemly. I did think he'd be able to rejoin society at some point, but not anymore. He's getting worse, not better.
All right, I have nothing. And we are running towards the end of the episode. Maybe we'll go back to Claire. We'll see. I'll debate it between episodes, maybe before we finish. I don't know. Like, I think she might be the murderer. Like, she's probably like my top pick right now. But that arrest report definitely kind of skews that decision. So, We'll just have to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.